Good morning and welcome to our midweek reflection. So, the headline this week is Hospitality is Back. From Monday, the 17th of May, pubs, restaurants, and cafes can open their doors. So too can cinemas, theatres, and museums. You might already have plans to meet up with friends at the local pub or cafe, be it high end for a treat, or the other end with kids going to the cinema with the joy of popcorn. I think I favour the latter. Just knowing things are going to open up is something to be celebrated. Things are getting better. Our nation is getting better. In case you missed it, there were no deaths from coronavirus recorded in England, Scotland, or Northern Ireland on Monday, the 10th of May. Although sadly, on Monday, the 10th of May, the minke whale found in the Thames died. In these past pandemic days, we have all become used to a different way of living and the associated language that goes with it. Listen to the phrase again. Hospitality is back. We all know what that shorthand means, and as we've said, we're all rather pleased about it and looking forward to going back to the pub, the cafe, the cinema. And a bit of a shout out at this point for all our local pubs in Hertford who've made a sterling effort during the pandemic, flexing up and down every time government guidelines changed. And we've certainly been grateful, and particularly for Friday night fish and chips takeaway. Hospitality is back. But where did it go? Did it go? I've checked out what hospitality means, the root word. In the ancient world, the practice of hospitality meant graciously receiving an alienated, or we would say refugee, into one's land, home, or community, and providing directly for that person. When Christ was alive, Greek and reference to Hebrew were used in biblical writings. Hospitality in Greek means friend or stranger, and in Hebrew it is translated as the practice of welcoming guests. Put them together and you are welcoming a friend or a stranger as your guest and treating them equally the same. And all good hosts provide their guests with refreshment, be it as simple as a much needed cup of water after somebody's been on the dusty road, through to a banquet at a wedding feast. Hospitality is a core value for most societies and the roots and current traditions of the great British pub. For Christians, hospitality is a prime example of the love Jesus was talking about when he encouraged us to love one another. There are numerous examples of hospitality running throughout his life. We read that he reclined at table, both with respectable folk and those that were unaccepted in society. He ensured there was enough lunch for 5,000 people, all from 5 loaves and 2 fish. His first miracle at the start of his ministry was to turn water into wine at a wedding feast. And in the parable of the Good Samaritan, Jesus uses this to illustrate that we must show love and hospitality to people in need, whoever they are. And of course, as we've just celebrated after Easter, we know that in Jesus' first appearance after his resurrection, he broke bread with fellow travellers on the road. Hospitality. Back to 2021 now, and I like the term hospitality is back because I know what it means in the immediate, but it also made me realise that it never went away. We can and we all do show loving kindness to our neighbours, to our friends and to our families. And we have seen so much of that, haven't we, during the past 14 months. We all show loving kindness when strangers in other lands have nothing or are struggling to survive. If you had a cylinder of oxygen for someone struggling to breathe in India, I have no doubts you would freely give it over. And in our church here, up and down the country, come the autumn, we hope to be up and running with our usual bring and share lunches after church and our coffee mornings. And we'd love it if you came to join us, because we value hospitality in the church. And I know that people in our community value hospitality. So let's all join together and love one another and be hospitable. In the book of Hebrews, we read, "Stay on good terms with each other, held together by love. Be ready with a bed or a meal when it's needed." Why? Some have entertained hospitality to angels without even knowing it. May we all be blessed today as we show and receive love and hospitality.